Salutations fam, this is Arim from Haltessiagaming, and in today's video, I've got something I want to say real quick. So I haven't been posting as much, um, in regards to deck profiles and things like that. And the truth of it is that I was trying out a deck idea in concept that just wasn't able to compete to the standard that I hold myself to. One of the things about my channel is that I'm very big on authenticity, and this is true of not just my YouTube channel, but just me as a person. I just don't believe in posting a video telling people that my deck idea is the best deck or it's the most undefeated thing, right? I don't believe in telling people that a deck is competitive if I can't compete with it. And truthfully, I tried this deck. I played it in, I want to say, about 7 tournaments, and I wasn't able to top a single one with it. And so that is why you're not going to see that deck profile on the channel. Um, I do still believe in the concept of the deck, and I do feel like it can probably be refined, and I just haven't figured it out yet. So I'm probably going to give it another try. But I did actually play that deck over the course of this weekend as well. But for the final tournament of the week, I decided, you know what, it's 2 weeks is the longest I've ever gone without topping anything. So, or rather, while I was actively playing anyway, and I just didn't like that. So I was like, I need to get some prizing. So I said, you know what, my Nats deck is completely unhit. I don't have thrusts anymore because I ended up selling them. So I figured, why not just play my Nats deck, play Branded Blue Eyes again. And, I took it to an event and I went undefeated, and as, we probably should have expected. So, yeah, without further ado, we've got ourselves a first place Branded Blue Eyes deck profile. But as a bit of a something to look forward to, they also had Edison flights that were happening throughout the day. And, after I finished up with the main event, I found out that one guy was like winning everything. Like he hadn't lost a match all day, and all day he'd only lost one game. And I said, yo, I got to get on this. And he was cracked. He drew cracked every game. He was cooking, but we were cooking harder. So you get to look forward to a first place Edison deck profile for Blue Eyes as well. And without further ado, we're going to hop right into this deck profile. Once again, it's Branded Blue Eyes. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the main deck. Um, Taking a similar idea from my Nats deck, one of the things was that I really wanted to incorporate I was debating whether or not to, focus more on like the Branded Blue Eyes deck or like the true light control aspect of the deck. And with the list that I played, it's kind of like the perfect blend of both. Um, I'm not playing True Light in the deck, but you don't really need to because Sanctifier does it for you. You can just keep summoning back your Blue Eyes every turn with Sanctifier, which is pretty cool. It was not every turn; it's every opponent's turn. So I'm playing the one copy of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and 2 copies of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, and then the 1 copy of the White Stone of Ancients. Um, it is nice to open the White Stone of Ancients to be able to use for Branded High Spirits, to discard off Lubellion, to send off Branded Fusion, but I found that I just don't really get much value out of opening this card by itself. This doesn't really do anything by itself in the grave, whereas Jet Dragon in hand is actually pretty good because, it can summon itself from hand. Um, we're playing 3 Keeper of Dragon Magic as the primary normal summon of the deck. It is such a good card. I just really enjoy being able to, have that wide array of cards that you can search with this card. 2 copies of Fallen of Albaz. Um, yeah, you need this to be able to have your engine work. And especially you really need another one because of the new line that you do in the deck. So I'm playing 2 instead of the usual 1. 1 copy of Albion the Shrouded Dragon. Upstart Goblin is really good. The 1 copy of Quem. This is what makes, the new line with Nadir serving, it just makes it so much more powerful because in addition to the usual Maximus line, you are also getting access to your Mirror Jade line, so it just makes everything tie so much together. The deck is way more consistent and way more powerful. The one copy of Spriggan's Kit as the other, I guess the main search target for Branded High Spirits. If you don't have Branded Fusion, this gets you to Branded Fusion. But if you do have Branded Fusion, you search Albion and you get to just draw. This is also just a free special sometimes. Um, then we have, yeah, we were doing evil stuff. Jalgin the Spiritualist. Let's be real. Yeah, Blue Eyes tends to play Floodgates. So, it's kind of really strong when you can combo into a Floodgate. I'll talk more about this later on the deck profile because you don't always want to go Jaugen, like just go for Jaugen, because just Jaugen doesn't always win you the game because you know they can just kind of normal something to hit over it a lot of the time. So it's like it's very much a situational thing, but it's still really powerful. So we're including it. The one copy of Maximus, really really broken, and then we have triple rock, triple Nibiru. Um, One of the things about this deck list, and I think this is some theory I want to incorporate into the other deck that I want to try, is that rather than playing like a lot of non-engine, I wanted to play only like high impact non-engine. Nibiru is pretty good because most of the decks that like I have trouble beating lose to Nibiru, and the decks that don't lose to Nibiru, I can usually just kind of beat pretty easily with my engine. In general, I want to just only draw cards that win me the game as much as possible, and your engine wins you the game, and then also the high impact non-engine can usually win you the game as well. Onto the spells, we got obviously triple branded fusion, the double high spirits. Um, Branded fusion needs no explanation. Branded high spirits is crazy. I really love being able to just use this as a secondary nadir sometimes. It's really good. We have triple copies of Nadir Servant. Um, yeah, second most broken card in the deck alongside Branded Fusion. Then we've got the one Foolish Burial. I've got a lot of like just power one of. So we have Foolish Burial. This can get you to put Jaugen in grave if you've already got like a Sanctifier. Like maybe you use Quem to make Sanctifier and then you Foolish the Jaugen, right? Or you Foolish send the Stone, or you send Jet, or you send the Blue Eyes, or you send Albion. It's very very versatile. Fusion deployment. Summon Blue Eyes from deck, summon Albaz from deck, summon, it's pretty good. And then this is a new card for the list. I wasn't playing this at Nats, but oh my gosh, it's very funny when you do it. Fusion Armament. So this just summons Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from your extra deck. Or, in fringe cases, it summons Albaz from grave. It summons Blue Eyes White Dragon from grave sometimes. But you know what we're playing it. We're trying to summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. One copy of Instant Fusion against Tearlaments. This won me the game. I activated Instant Fusion, activate Resolve. He went, yeah, I don't really care about Mud Dragon. He let it resolve. And then I summoned Millenniumized Restrict, and he lost the game. Broken One-Us. We play Called by the Grave. We drew it once against yeah, we drew it once against Tier. Yeah, I just kind of drew Broken against the Tier Flare. I don't know what to tell you. I drew Broken. And then we have two copies of Talents. Um, like I said, I don't have Thrust anymore. If I had Thrust, I absolutely 100,000% would be playing Thrust. It's just too crazy of a card. Um, but I don't. So we're playing Talents, and we have to play this alongside three copies of Fusion Duplication. So before, what you would do if you got like Ash, you would go Thrust, set Duplication, and then you would like Branded Fusion on the opponent's turn. Now you kind of have to hope you draw into it with like Talents, or like you have it in hand already. Playing three has the added benefit of sometimes you just open it, and it's actually kind of crazy because if you do like the normal Branded Fusion line, you can do like the regular Mirror Jade line, and then you can still go draw phase Duplication, and then resolve another Branded Fusion, and then do like the Jaugen lock in the draw phase, and it's pretty good, pretty good. But also, this doesn't have to copy Branded Fusion. You can copy Fusion Deployment, summon Blue Eyes. You can copy Fusion Deployment, summon Albaz on the opponent's turn, and super volley them. Um, yeah, if like Instant Fusion gets negated, you can duplication, copy it, and summon Millennium Eyes. Or if like it's in the grave, you can summon Millennium Eyes and like just summon it on the opponent's turn. Like it has a lot of versatility, and I like the card a lot. Definitely. So let's see. So basically, these three cards right here, like these three would be triple tactics thrust, I feel. Or maybe you would do like, these two would be like two thrust, or maybe you would like, but the thing is, you would be playing thrust if you could. And then we have the best Blue Eyes card ever, Skill Drain. Yeah, the dragons, they are big, and then they just go unga bunga, and then like Blue Eyes Ultimate is 4,500 under skill drain, and you just go kind of punch them until they die. And then we have triple copies of Gozen Match. This is what I meant when I said I wanted to try and I found what I felt was the balance between True Light Control. Because probably the strongest thing about True Light Control and like Blue Eyes as an archetype is just that like it's a hyper consistent like mid rangey type deck. It's natively a trap deck, but the biggest strength of Blue Eyes is that it just doesn't care about floodgates. Like it really doesn't. I remember, I think I mentioned this in the True Light Control deck profile, but like when testing one time, I was going for like some extra deck plays, and then like halfway through, I realized that Skill Drain, Gozen, and Rivalry were face up on the field, and they weren't hindering my plays at all because everything is just a light dragon. I'm not playing Rivalry in this list because you do kind of care about Rivalry. You can still win under Rivalry, but it's just I wanted to have another Floodgate that was like really strong against the metagame that would also like not hinder me that much. You can definitely play under the Light Lock and just not care at all. Um, and then last we have Branded Retribution. The one of that you want to be able to like recycle Branded Fusion. It's a counter trap that negates summons. And then it like also recycles your fusion. So very very enjoyable list. It performed very very well. Also, unintended thing with goes in match. Sanctifier summon something to the opponent's field and then goes in them and lock them out of playing because if they're not playing a light deck and you put a Stone of Ancients on their board, they just can't summon monsters and then they basically skip their turn. Yeah, so there's that. But basically, the idea with like the Blue Eyes part of the deck is that you're going to basically you just Sanctifier loop. Obviously, the Branded Fusion, you send Stone, you send Blue Eyes, you send Jet, whatever. Jet, is played at multiplies because you do actually want to see that in your hand sometimes. But yeah, Sanctifier, summon Stone of Ancients to the opponent's board, hit over it, and then you get another Blue Eyes. Just stuff like that. But yeah, that's it for the main deck. On to the extra deck. Um, you already know what you already know. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Dragon Master Knight. Yeah. Fusion Ornament, summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Not much needs to be said. Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. You can reveal Tyrant or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to be able to summon Blue Eyes from hand or deck with Fusion deployment. And yeah, really, really silly. No, I did not make Dragon Master Knight. Theoretically, if you play the Light Hexo Fusion, you actually can, which is hilarious to think about. But yeah, we're not doing all that. Mirror Jade, Lubellion, Titaniclad, 2 Albion, the Branded Dragon, 1 Albion, the Sanctifier Dragon. This is really strong, and as you may notice, this is a light monster. This is also a light monster. Tyrant's a light monster, so it's like you can still play under like the Goes Unlock. Albalenitis, Entis, Garura, Dragostapelia. Um, I didn't ever make Dragostapelia, but I like having it as an option. Specifically because if you play against something like Flu, I want to have a game plan for Flu, and Dragostapelia being like an actual like negate against him is really good. Millennium Eyes Restrict. This won me the game against Tier. Um, I summoned this against somebody else. Who did I summon it against? I think I summoned it against Vanquish Soul. I think I use this to like stop like an ash or something. And then the last card in the extra deck is a copy of number 38. You might immediately go, but you're fusion locked. Why would you ever play anything that's not a fusion card? It's because you're only fusion locked the turn you activate branded fusion specifically, or like fusion deployment or whatever, right? It's not actually that uncommon that you are on a follow up turn have level 8s on board that you can just make in those simplified game states, because one of the things with like true light control is that because the Blue Eyes engine doesn't actually do anything to stop the opponent from playing, you can find your if you're just like using the engine, you are finding yourself in like just playing the resource game, and a lot of times, yes, Blue Eyes will win that resource game because you just have the infinite loop basically, and your opponent will eventually run out of resources because finite resources loses to infinite resources. But having access to something that you can do to just close out the game is very, very strong. Being able to take, like a Maximus that you've already resolved and like an Albion that got negated and then turn them into a 38 and then like, have that and then you have 38 on the board and then when you sanctify them and summon Jowgen back to the board and they try to hit over it, you can redirect it into 38 and then detach the Albion and the Albion will trigger and then you get to set from deck and like it's pretty good. Against a yeah, damn, worked hard. But yeah, that's the basic gist of the extra deck. Give me my cards. Yeah. Now we move on to the side deck. The first card in the side deck is you know it's fine. Come on now. Dragon Spirit White as another an engine thing because one of the things about the deck is that I didn't want to just like randomly lose to like stun decks basically. I didn't want to lose to like Runic Stun, and I also wanted to have a side deck that covered a lot of matchups because one thing about this format is that it's actually pretty wide right now. There's a lot of decks in the format. I wanted to have my side basically be prepared for every matchup rather than having a side that like hard countered the matchups that I expected. I want to just always have stuff that I can bring into the side. So Dragon Spirit of White basically is my only side deck card for back row, but being able to just go Sanctifier, summon Dragon Spirit every single turn is pretty good. And then also, by the way, you can resolve this under skill drain. So you can go summon Dragon Spirit, activate the effect, targeting like a skill drain on their board or like a floodgate on their board or whatever. Activate Dragon Spirit, tribute itself for cost, summon Blue Eyes from hand, and then it'll resolve and banish, and then you can go Sanctifier on their turn, summon Dragon Spirit back, Dragon Spirit trigger, banish, and because like it's not once per turn. But yeah, pretty good. And then we have triple copies of Ash Blossom, two copies of Ghost Bell. Against a lot of back row decks like Lab, these are the cards that I want to have, but these are also good against a lot of decks. They're basically good against everything. And then I played this in, when I played Dragon Link, and I said, you know what, it's a pretty good card right now, let's try it out. Played Phantasme, and it was fantastic. Yeah, very good card. I like being able to mulligan, especially in my deck that has like weird hands sometimes, being able to just go summon Phantasme, draw two, or potentially even draw three, or sometimes even deeper, depending on what the deck is. And then also just being able to draw into other hand traps is just as good as it was back then. Well, okay, that is not correct. It is definitely not as good as it was back then. But back when everybody had to play links, yeah, definitely not as good as back then, but it's pretty good right now. Two copies of Dogwood, two copies of Mourner. Time cards, bro. And then lastly, two copies of Droll and Lockbird. I'm already maining 3 nib. Playing 3 nib, 2 Phantasme, 2 Droll, usually is enough to deal with like the Wombo combo decks. And yeah, that's going to be it for the deck profile. Per tradition, we can do like a quick test. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do a test hand because like, come on, like it's like we know what this deck does. But I'm just gonna like showcase like some of the ideas behind the deck, I guess. So we're gonna, there we go. All right, now let's give it a good old shuffle. Oh, I don't think I ever mentioned it, but the deck is 42 cards. Yeah. Why am I not playing Super Poly? The format's too wide, and I can't fit in every single Super Poly target. And I don't like having cards in my deck that are going to be dead in a lot of matchups. So rather than having a card that just wins really hard against matchups, I just wanted to have stuff that was good against everything. Alrighty, what are we feeling? I'm gonna knock everything over. I'm gonna be careful. Alright, now let's see what we drew. Call by We're Broken. Fusion Deployment, Quem, Nadir, Nib. Okay, so this hand isn't bad, it's just it doesn't have Branded Fusion, which is very, very sad. But, okay, let's see what we can do with this. What can we do with this? So obviously we're gonna, Fusion Deployment. Yeah, probably Fusion Deployment. Maybe they ash it. Maybe they go, they look at the mat and they go, okay, yeah, he's trying to summon Blue Eyes, stop him. But it's like you have Ash if you really care about that much, but we probably wouldn't. And then summon the Blue Eyes. So that goes to grave. And then we're gonna probably normal Quem effect. We're going to go ahead and send an Albaz to grave. If only Albaz could just like fuse, that would be so cool. Yeah, that would be really cool if you could do that. Yo, actually, if I was playing Cartesia, this would be a play because we'd be able to go. We would have Cartesia on board plus the Quem, and then when we activate Nadir, it would trigger Quem and summon back the Albaz. And then on the opponent's turn, we could just fuse with Cartesia, which would then trigger the Quem, and then Albaz would summon back in Super Poly. Ooh, that would be kind of cooking. We might need to put Cartesia back in the deck. Yeah, but anyway, Nadir. Let's go for... I'm feeling Garura. We're going to draw into like a Floodgate or something. Get Maximus. Oh, this is in the grave. My bad. That's still in the grave. So, Garura, get Maximus. And then, effect to draw. We're going to just draw... I'm not really sure what we can draw. Actually, I'm realizing that we probably shouldn't have done it like this. Because if we draw like, if we draw like duplication, we would have been able to like normal Quinn, send Fallen, Branded Fusion. And that would have been so much better. Yeah, that would have been way better. Yeah, we should have done that. But it is what it is. And now we're going to go ahead and draw what we draw. We draw, ew, that's terrible. We drew Albaz. Summon Maxi. Then we're going to go Maximus effect. Send to... Well, we already have the Quem. So let's see. Instead, we're going to send... Well, obviously we're sending Albion. We don't need to send Titaniclad because we have Quem on board already. So I guess we send Avalenitus. And then... Set called by... And then Avalenitus, we're going to go ahead and pick up... do we want... Yeah... I don't think we really need to because we already have a way to do that. Ooh, actually, that's a good idea. We're going to go and get... we're going to set Branded in High Spirits. So we have a way to trigger Quem ourselves. And then off of Avalenitus, I really want to just pick Fusion Armament because it's funny, but the correct play is probably to get Instant Fusion. To, you know, start breaking the board on the crackback. You can play Retribution, but I don't really... There's not much benefit to it because we don't have Branded Fusion. So yeah, we'll get Avalenitus. And this is our hand. So we have Instant Fusion, Nib, Called by... So for the opponent's turn, we have the Albaz and the Super Poly. We're gonna ditch the Albaz. We have Brandon High Spirits. We're just gonna reveal the High Spirits, right? We're just gonna reveal High Spirits. Then we're gonna send like, I don't know, like we're gonna send something, but I don't know. And then that'll trigger the Quim, summon back the Albaz, Albaz Super Poly with the Albaz, yada yada yada. Real time. We should have played Quim. Truthfully, you probably just cut the fusion ornament because, well, summoning Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is funny. It's not. It's not substantially better than just having Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Jet Dragon on the board under skill drain. Like it's not substantially different. Like they're both already probably bigger than everything in the game, or well, obviously not everything in the game, but like everything that you'll realistically see. All right, we'll do one more. What we got? One. Ooh, Jet. Retribution. Oh my goodness, this hand is terrible. This is the worst hand I have ever seen. Set double Gozen, pass, and hope they can't play through Gozen. Let's see. How long? So hopefully they normal summon something they can't play. They go battle, they attack. We draw Quem. Okay, we can work with this. We can work with this. Go Quem. Because remember we're locked into that. So we're gonna go Quem. Probably go Albion. Albion special and some of that. So maybe we send Albion. I don't care. Yeah, because you don't get the draw unless it's from hand. We can go Albion, discard that, and then special this. Oh wait, we can't do that because we're under that. So we probably have to go. This is probably a 2-turn setup. This is a 2-turn setup. So we gotta send the. Maybe we send. So probably send the branded. No, we can't do that. What can we send that does anything? High Spirits isn't terrible. High Spirits isn't terrible. But I feel like this doesn't do anything either. We need a way to get the branded the branded Retribution engrave. I do not think there is anything good to send, but I guess we have a monster on the board now. Yeah, we probably just do that. Yeah, send High Spirits. But I feel like High Spirits would also be like really good in this scenario. If only the Retribution wasn't in our hand. Nah. I don't know what to send. I really don't. Probably High Spirits because... But this is a starter. We don't want to do that. Whatever. Put Albion in grave and just... Based on what you draw in future turns, you can, like... Send based on that, I guess. And then you have a light on board. And then, if only this could send from extra deck, like a Dust Dragon. But okay, we have this. They'll probably hit over this. You don't die. But now we just have to top deck. This is what, turn 3? This is one of those, well, let's hope the floodgate stops them from playing long enough for me to play. Draw. We drew rock, which still doesn't do anything. But, we can summon a monster, I guess. So we send the Retribution from hand, special the Albion, and then we are now locked into darks, which does suck, but we're good. We can probably hit over what they have on board, because 25 is really big. pass to them again. We're now locked into darks. If they somehow out this, we're playing next turn because we can go Albion, send Branded Fusion, and Retribution at Branded Fusion play from there. That was definitely a hope the floodgate carries us. Right, and it's like we're probably not going to die because of the Goza match, but past that it's like I don't know. All right, let's see. Last hand. Test hands are cursed, bro. I drew Clem twice. Bro, what are these hands? Oh, never mind. Is it this? Oh, never mind. Yo, we need a rock fusion. Well, obviously we're gonna brand it in high spirits. Reveal Albaz. I usually like to send Titanic-clad. Well, actually, that's a fair point too. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? So you can send Titanic-clad, but that has the downside of whatever. We're just gonna send Titanic-clad. That way, at the very least, we can like potentially do a Quem line if everything gets stopped. And then we're gonna go get Kit. Get Kit. Special Kit, Kit effect, add fusion, put back the Albaz in our hand. So put that on the bottom. Activate Branded Fusion, we get Ash, we still have the Quem line. And off the Quem line, we would just send Albion, right? And so, like, based on how next turn goes, we can go from there. So it's like, if this gets Ash, we're protected because we have Quem to still get the line. And if it doesn't get Ash, we're still good too. So yeah, Branded Fusion. I want to do this. I guess I don't really mind getting rid of one. Albaz, and I don't really have a floodgate, so I kind of want to do that. But then I don't have anything left in deck, so I don't want to do that. I kind of just have to. Ooh, this hand was not very good. Let's go for. Let's play it. Let's play the long game. Play it safe. Where are you, Stone of Ancients? Go ahead and make. We can go that. I don't want to do that though. Well, I don't think it's a good idea to pitch the nib. I don't. Ooh, actually, that's a good point. We could do that, and do that, but that's not really worth. So we go fuse one of the Albaz, and did we just go straight for Mirror Jade to keep the hand advantage? Probably do that, yeah. Just go straight for Mirror Jade, keep the hand advantage. We have another one anyway, it's not the end of the world. Foolish. Probably send. What do we want to send? We could do that, but I don't think that's very good. We'll sound. Probably the vanilla. Just so he can make Jet a little bit better. That is actually a good point. We could get Quem. We need more stuff engraved. It's the problem. We don't have anything that puts stuff in our hand. So we probably will just have to like make a decision on what to use based on like how our opponent's playing. So we go Quem, not Quem, Titanic-clad, 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 where are you? Not Titanic-clad. Well, actually, yeah, technically, Quim. Um, maybe we keep it in our hand for like a follow-up turn. I don't know. Quim. Let's get more stuff out of our deck. Pick up. Oh, actually, that, yeah, okay, I see the line now. Where's Retribution at? So we send Retribution, banish the Retribution, add, just add this back to hand, right? Add that back to hand. So now we have our discard. And then we can go Mirror Jade Banish, Quem summon back Albaz, Super Poly disking the High Spirits, Super Poly into like Drago Stapelia or something, and then like kind of go from there. We still have the Nib. Okay, yeah. And obviously we would have the Jet Dragon as well. We still have a lot of time left on the recorder, to be honest, but there's not really much to say about this deck. It's, you know, Brandon Blue Eyes been beaten to death. It's just still basically at full power. Yeah. This has been Dark Arim from Haltessiagaming. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and share it with your friends. I will try to post new videos. Look forward to the Edison format deck profile. If you want to see my list as soon as they top, please consider subscribing to my Patreon and join the Discord. Or, you know, I will post the list on Discord, not Discord, but Patreon as well. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and please go drink some water. And now it is time for the Button Chronicles. Did it work? Come on, man.